Guys, it finally happened. For those that live under a rock, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, while not technically dead, we'll get to
It's been neutered to the point that it is effectively dead.
Yeah, we'll get to like what Alito actually wrote in the decision, because Section 2 is dead. Like the way that Alito wrote this, which was brilliant. This was one of the best ways he could have written this. I still think the Thomas concurrence is like best case scenario, but still, I'm not mad about this. In fact, I think it's the best of both worlds. This right here is where you have to draw for Democrats gain House seats. Notice the difference between Florida gerrymander and a California gerrymander? DHS should probably get funded, and I think there's momentum building for the ballroom thing. I know people are saying the conspiracy. It's like, guys, that just proved that if you have the ballroom at the White House, that would be the most secure ballroom in the world.
That would be the most secure place to be able to host dinners and whatnot. Because let's look at it like this: a correspondence dinner with fucking. Like, that shit is small fry. What would have happened if it were another head of state there?
Yeah.
What if, let's look at this realistically. What would have happened if it were like the Japanese, like what if Sanai Takaichi or Keir Starmer or Emmanuel Macron were there? What if like any fucking allied or European or what, just in general Western state, head of state was there? That would like look really fucking bad on us. The fact that it was a correspondence dinner with journalists who most people just don't give a fuck about to begin with. Like, yeah,
and even Fetterman is now saying we need the ballroom.
Well, Fetterman's always. I know, but Fetterman's always been. Yeah,
I know, but now he's like publicly making a big push for it now. Yeah, you know, a ballroom would be nice to have. I think that, but we don't got one, so.
We're not allowed to have nice things because anything the Orange Man does is automatically bad and disgusting.
Just like the whole like the
freaking
and
xenophobic and transphobic.
Like the damn freaking they're cleaning the water thing up.
Oh yeah, no. I honestly just tells you a lot. Leftists are completely okay with ugly ass architecture and
they don't care
if it means owning Trump.
They literally don't care. They're making excuses like, oh, that's bad for the environment. Are you sure making it look like shit is good for the environment? I do.
Actually, if you want to get into it, having large bodies of water with algae like that is one of the biggest ways you can actually fucking like. That is a biohazard waiting to happen, especially if you were to drink from it. I mean, you shouldn't drink from that.
Don't drink from it.
Yeah, don't drink from the Washington Memorial fucking waterway, but.
No, go have a sip of it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, my point stands. That's chemicals. That's bacteria. That is nasty, icky, gross things.
Just shit.
Is literal shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the crazy thing is like leftists are against it because Trump. I have never seen anything like this. Even
if Obama were doing it, they would be in zealous support of it, and there would be only a few Republicans who'd comment on it, and they'd say, wow, Obama is so
respectable bipartisan.
Yeah, Obama is like, oh, Obama is such a serious head of state because he's building nice things.
But the millisecond that Trump does it, oh my god, he's tearing down the monument. He's making it look horrific, even though he's just cleaning the water and making it look nicer. Wow.
DeSantis deserves to be put on the Supreme Court for this.
Finally got the congressional map out of Florida, and it's everything we wanted, and then some. I personally wanted +5, but the way they did +4, I think was actually better.
And I mentioned this to Rap. the +4 is done in such a way that even if it were like a massive blue year, the seats are still at most lean Republican. What DeSantis has done is he has created a way to maximize how many seats we can get while keeping every single one of them safe in a blue wave year. This is not maximalist in terms of bringing out how many House seats we can get, but this is maximalist in the sense of how many seats can we get that are going to actually stand up and allow us to keep us up in the House, which I think was the better choice. And DeSantis is yet again a fucking genius who is saving our fucking asses.
Now I will say one thing.
I think with Florida, we will actually be able to flip all 4 of those seats.
Right here, this is the map that people are pushing. So basically, according to them, by the way, Republicans still would gain an extra 2 House seats here. That's a funny thing. Their own coping mechanism still has Republicans gaining 2 in the House. They would just barely lose the 25th and the 22nd.
And that's just Southeast Florida, which has had the most shifts.
Yeah.
If you go back to like 2018, Southeast Florida is still solid down.
I mean, I can't believe these dumbasses are actually using you cannot use 2020 as a baseline for Florida. That is batshit crazy. You talk about copium, that's what copium is. So that means essentially
unironically, baseline now is probably something like, I don't know, Rubio 2022, maybe.
I would say Trump 2024 is like baseline.
I'd say Trump 2024 is the baseline. Rubio and DeSantis outperformed Trump by quite a bit.
Florida's got a more Republican since 2024 in voter registration. I know that's not everything, but guys.
Yeah, everyone's moving to Florida, which I mean, it's kind of filling up now. I mean,
these dumb motherfuckers. So basically, they're even admitting the only way this map fails is if the state's within 3 points. And by the way, these people are actually convinced Florida's going to be within 3 points this year. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, maybe if Fishback pulls off the upset of a lifetime.
Well, now he pissed off his base, which is freaking hilarious. I'm not going to get into that, though. But
that's that. But, I mean, worst case for Byron Donalds is he probably wins by like 8.
Yeah.
And even then.
In that scenario.
Even then, if that's the case, you maybe see Moskowitz hold on and the rest of the
That's about it. Best case scenario, Republicans
still represents a dark future for the Republican Party of Florida. That's why we need
in reality,
vote for second generation immigrant James Fishback.
Okay, anyways.
Groiper.
Good lord. President Gilbert getting it for 2. W. Roblander. Yeah, the Homelander strikes back in a good way. But yeah, so basically, their own coping mechanism suggests Democrats need to lose Florida by 3. How much they lose in 2024 again?
12, 13, I think.
So here. Oh yeah, by 13. And Rick Scott of all people, who remember the meme was he could never win by more than a point. How much did he win Florida by?
12, I think.
Florida's fucking gone.
Jimmy Kimmel with his fucking comment.
Yeah, we'll get to that. There's so much to talk about with this whole thing.
Jimmy Kimmel's life needs to be ruined. Just straight up, this man's life needs to be fucking ruined. Like,
how many people have lost their sanity because of Jimmy Kimmel? Honestly.
Oh yeah, no. Honestly, it's not just the sanity. He pushes this shit unapologetically, and the only time that he is ever forced to apologize was when everyone unilaterally said, you took it too far after Charlie Kirk got assassinated. And even then, he didn't give a shit, and he went straight back to those drugs
went back
after
to it. Within a minute, back to the same shit.
We have had anti-white rhetoric since Obama, and it's now coming to a boil where people who are in their fucking 30s are throwing their lives away. I think it's really funny. This dude was like most absolutely radicalized by like the Obama admin and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he got disowned by fucking Obama for that shit, bro.
Yeah, he completely lost. Like, these people are losing their minds left and right, and there needs to be a serious discussion about how you deal with this, because you don't have a society if you have a third of the country that wants to kill everybody else. And let's be honest, that's what's going on here. Look at the YouGov poll back in September. This was before it became clear that we have a serious issue. Back in September last year, I think it was like only 50% of very liberal people said they disagree with violence, I think. It was like 50%. And very conservative, like 88% or whatever. The point is, though... oh, go on, sorry.
These people don't give a shit about the norm. They want to kill people who disagree with them.
Yeah.
A poll came out recently where 22% of young, self-proclaimed liberals and progressives said they wouldn't care if someone died, and they would actually be... They wouldn't oppose it, whereas only 5% of young conservative people said they would oppose someone being...
Kirk was so far ahead of his time, it's wild. But right here, this is a real poll. This is from last April. So this is probably even worse now. They asked voters justification of murder of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And again, this is before Kirk got shot. And I guarantee you conduct the same poll now, it's even worse. But 50% said yes. There is justification. 50% of people left of center. There is justification to kill Musk. 55% said the same about Trump, and 58% said destroying a Tesla dealership is partially acceptable. Does no one see the issue with this at all? Nobody?
It's almost like the long-term goal has been to normalize this sort of thing amongst the youth that they know are going to be malleable.
It's a color revolution. That's what this is. I forgot who said it yesterday. It might be Mike Lee, actually. But this is a color revolution. This shit going on is a color revolution. They're building up these schizophrenics to think all is lost, America's ran by. At this point, what are they even saying now about Trump? Like, he's a fascist, he's a rapist, he's a what?
He's a pedophile.
Yeah. A traitor.
He's a rapist, he's a pedophile, he's a traitor, he's a Russian spy, he's a Chinese spy, he's an Iranian spy, he's friends with North Korea.
He's an Israeli spy also.
He's an he's an Israeli lapdog. Like, you think of it, the left has called him in. It's unhinged behavior. It's completely like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Alright.
Oh shit, what are you doing, dog?
A couple more super chats to catch up to, and we'll get back to this. American Nerd for 6. Shots fired, Trump, not this BS again. You know, again, I support freedom of speech, obviously. At some point, there's gotta be something else.
Look, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences, and that's what a lot of fucking people need to understand. Sure, you could say kill the president, but that's not gonna fucking mean that you're not gonna get immediately fucking investigated, homie. That's not how this shit works.
My opinion is one of two things. If you're not threatening violence, I don't give a shit, honestly. I really don't care. If you're not breaking the law, who cares? But these people, they're just like, they're using coded language to say, you know, oh, get at Trump, and then use certain words and stuff to say, you know, imply one thing. There's gotta be something to all these people need. I think there's gotta be some kind of law in the books, right? That you go after these people with, surely?
Yes, there are laws to go after them with. Obama went after fucking right-wingers with them.
Yeah, there's got to be
the shit that Trump is using. The shit that Trump is going to use for these RICO cases, like there are laws for this sort of stuff.
Threat to harassment, defaming people, lie is not free speech. More people lie. You need to realize that and be held accountable. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if you're not breaking the law, I don't give a shit. But if you're inciting violence and trying to say you gotta go kill somebody, like there's got to be consequences. And at the same time, there's also going to be consequences for people on Twitter that are pushing bullshit on purpose. Immediately.
Like Jimmy Kimmel with his fucking comment.
Yeah, we'll get to that. There's so much to talk about with this whole thing. The problem the Democrats have is you just look at the law. They violated every single aspect of it. There was not an intervening election. They did it right in the middle of it. Because they did it right after early voting started. They tried to ram it through, and they did. And they did it right after.
If they'd done it even just a week early, they would have gotten away with it.
Yeah. They did it weeks after early voting actually started. That's a big no-no, by the way. You have to have an election occur. And that's always the issue with early voting, by the way. They're making our arguments for us. Wow, it's as if early voting has issues. Wow, what a shocking turn of events. But also,
dude, you're telling me
yeah,
early voting has problems?
No shit.
What?
So, and there's other technical stuff like they have to post the thing by 90 days before the referendum. Apparently, they never did. They never posted anything about it. There's other stuff as well. But the point is, you actually look, objectively speaking, the Democrats have nothing to stand on here. Legally speaking, this should be thrown out immediately. I do think there's a chance. Because you actually hear what the Democrats were arguing. I'm confused. Are they just this delusional?
Yes. Jay Jones is not very smart. Spanberger is smart and cunning, but she's overplaying her hand because she has presidential aspirations. Let's be serious.
I think those are dead now, but...
Yeah, no. I mean, it's very obvious. She has presidential aspirations. She wants to be president. Spanberger is propping herself up being this aggressive so she can run for president one day. Probably in 28, because she knows that they have a dog shit fucking poll. The issue is that she's also a fucking dog shit candidate, but she doesn't care because she thinks because she massively overperformed and upset after the Republican governor lost.
And really, she blew away all that goodwill she had is gone. Remember,
by the way, what I'll also say is, so you mentioned Jay Jones, you mentioned Spanberger. There's a third name that you got to mention.
Who?
Eloise Lucas.
Oh
God.
The actual leader of the Virginia Democrats.
She, that explains a lot. She's a nutcase, but
here's the thing. I would say she's the leader of the Virginia Democrats, but she's ignored. She's completely ignored. She's basically behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But she's the reason why it's a 10-1 map.
Well, because she's a
retard.
Well, again, they are actually high in their own farts. They actually believe this is what the people want. They barely won this referendum in a state they won by 15.7 a year ago. They won by only 3. When Republicans spent jack shit, Democrats, they spent tens of millions of dollars. They had everyone barnstorm the state. They had the bullshit language. They purposely hid the fact from voters that this map is a clear gerrymander. Guys, you ask voters. You take all the colors of the maps. You ask voters, which one's a more fair map, Florida or Virginia? And you know what they're going to say? Virginia or Florida. Florida, yeah, Florida. For those that live under a rock, Pam Bondi was forced out, I think, on April 1st or April 2nd. It was very early in the month. And Todd Blanche was the acting AG. He was the Deputy Attorney General. And I have repeatedly shitted on this guy because I always thought that he wasn't good either. Now, let's be clear about one thing. Just because he's doing good stuff now, that does not mean if he becomes the official Attorney General, he will continue it, but we'll get to that in a second. But guys, I will admit when I'm wrong. Todd Blanche has been quite possibly, and this is pathetic to say this because it's only been a month, he's probably the best Attorney General Trump has ever had. I mean, in just 1 month, he has accomplished more than basically everybody else combined. So, the Supreme Court of Virginia has denied a request for an emergency stay of last week's ruling that said the State Board of Elections cannot certify the results of Virginia's redistricting referendum. This is just a ruling on the request for a stay and not in the merits of the appeal. So again, this is not an official decision. They did not say, no, the map's thrown out. But everybody on the no side has been making a big deal of this decision. Because apparently this is kind of a good hint as to which way the Supreme Court of Virginia might be leaning.
Well, if there was literally no problems and they weren't going to object to the wording of the referendum or anything else like that, then what you would have seen is oh yeah, no, absolutely, you can go ahead with the redistricting, it's okay. We'll figure out the details later. But no, they stopped it, and if they stopped it, it means there's they perceive a problem somewhere.
They're going to rule on this somehow. I still don't know if they're going to actually overturn this, but the fact they're stopping the election board from certifying it, That seems kind of noteworthy. That's what Scova freezing the Virginia map. Yeah, you were talking about that. That is a big win against. They didn't freeze the map officially, but it looks like there's a chance they throw it out. And at that point, what do Democrats even do in Virginia in response to this if the map gets thrown out?
They don't have the votes to impeach, so it's not like it's Maryland where they can just threaten to impeach every justice that dares to stand up to them. But you know, they're probably fucked if this gets tossed because they have no avenue.
Yeah, I mean, like they just pissed off half the state forever. You guys saw that fake AI image of him having an IDF uniform. Do you guys see that? I just find it funny myself. It's like you're telling me that Israel planned this and they did not cover up his social media presence.
They waited until after he was in custody before they
after the
photo,
fact. Man. Yeah, sure. It's as if that was fake. Wow.
The thing with these people is you've got to understand, these people simultaneously think that like Israel and the CIA and the FBI are these giant fucking boogeymen with an unlimited budget and they're fucking untouchable. But also they make such silly mistakes that they, a bunch of retards on the internet with nothing else to do with their life, can just like find stuff out about and can just like
it's like within a second, they mysteriously found this mysterious account that, he has an IDF uniform. How do you find this shit before we even knew who the shooter was? And they just magically found it out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they think that the CIA or whoever, or the IDF, is so incompetent they would leave that photo up, but also they're not incompetent because they run the world and this and that. It's like either the IDF in Israel is this fucking boogeyman, untouchable fucking world shadow government, or they're fucking incompetent enough to leave a photo of an IDF agent with his IDF uniform on social media in the first. Like, why would he even post that in the first place?
Magic. Tim Walz actually said something. What do you guys think he said?
He blamed the woke mob. Oh, actually, holy shit.
If you commit fraud in Minnesota, you're going to get caught. And that's exactly what we saw today. We catch criminals when state and federal agencies share information. Joint investigations work, and securing justice depends on it.
Wow, I'm a Tim Walz fan now. I'm like a Tim Walz patriot now.
Oh my god, guys, he posted one tweet.
No, he posted a couple. It's a thread.
He's redeemed.
Yeah.
He's like based, but like we just never knew it. We never realized it.
What are we talking about?
So Tim Walz put out a statement on the fraud stuff, and he's actually saying it's a good thing we went after them. Wasn't he trying to stop the investigations like 2 months ago?
He's been trying to stop the investigations since he got into office.
That's right, yeah. But now Tim Walz is saying we gotta take a guys. Remember when everyone was saying that the Iran war was the end of Blumph?
There's been no indication of any sort of blue wave.
That's how I'm gonna be real.
Nothing.
You're not gonna see me criticizing Harvard Harris for this poll when AP North keeps putting out the 30% approval ratings.
Until these assholes start calling out AP North, we're saying fuck you. We're using Harvard Harris. No, seriously.
Have you seen the Economist model with the approval?
I saw that. We're gonna see the biggest blue tsunami in history. Yeah, like this is the new poll from Harvard Harris. Until we have a conversation with AP Nork, Big Data. I can't believe we have to include Big Data into that conversation now. Quinnipiac. What's the other really shitty one?
Right. So like James Carville came out with this very wholesome, exciting, endearing kind of video, and what he said was, he condemned violence, he condemned political assassinations, and he said, it's like, well, you can't watch someone suffer if they're dead, and that's why, in my heart of hearts, I want Trump to live because he must suffer.
What the fuck? Yeah, right here. I do not want that man to die. I want to watch him suffer, and I can't watch a dead person suffer. What the fuck? Guys, if we vote Democrat, we could end up with some real respectable people in office. This is James fucking. If James Carville's saying this shit, what do you think the average Democrat is saying and thinking?
I just want you guys to know.
I guess the difference between him and the average Democrat is they want Trump to die, but they want it to be like slow and painful. probably something I can't say, which is probably something I shouldn't have said on stream.
They really want that. Like they're now just saying like they want him dead. Like that's their whole thing.
Oh yeah, like I mean, if
they hide behind the idea of saying, "Oh, well, actually, this is staged," and obviously
it's all
blah, blah, blah.
staged.
It's all staged, dude. Trump could actually be shot and killed in an assassination, and they would say it was staged. They would say that,
it was a hologram,
they would say
guys.
that Trump agreed to be killed in an assassination attempt to make himself look better.
Guys,
He's not actually dead, guys.
It's a hologram.
What
I will say is, I mean, if you polled like Democrats and you asked them if they would celebrate if Trump died like today or tomorrow,
they had a poll last year showing that. Like a majority were saying yes. It was in the last year. So yeah, these people are nuts.
Hint of irony. I know him. He's a dumb motherfucker. He straight up said that like a world leader, like he says, like there's a very real possibility that a world leader is dead, and that Jews are currently running the country with a fucking body double. I'm like, okay, first of all, no,
he's still alive.
Second of all, what do you mean the Jews are running Israel? What do you mean by that? The Jews run Israel?
Guys, I didn't know this.
You're telling me now for the first time.
But the thing is, the scary part is people are unironically saying this shit now. Like, it's becoming a new, like, a trendy thing now for people to say. And they believe it. It's like, guys, there's
what have I missed?
The Jews are running Israel. The Jews run Israel. Midnight Messenger. The Jews, they're running Israel.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else saw that one edit on Twitter then, too.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about there. I just can't.
It's like the one edit with the killer.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. No. So this is significant. This is not some fucking tiny insignificant news. This could very well be the beginning of the end for OPEC. So a little while ago, the United Arab Emirates announced that it will withdraw from OPEC after more than 50 years. Now, question: why is this significant? Anybody know why this is a big deal?
It's a big deal because the UAE is following a couple of other exits in the past few years from OPEC. They're a much larger exiter than the other ones. Like the other one was like Angola, which wasn't a really big deal. And then Qatar back in like 2019. OPEC has been weakening. It is kind of like a primary. When we're talking about control of the oil markets, OPEC is like the big adversary and also described by many as a cartel. Controlling oil prices. If you've ever wondered, you ever done any like basic economics class and you wonder like, why does oil behave so much differently than all the rest of the goods and services across the world?
Because OPEC.
It's because there's a cartel. And essentially like, you know, the current members, you know, there's still Iraq, there's still Iran, there's still Saudi Arabia, there's still like a lot of members in it. Venezuela was also part of OPEC, by the way. And it like
still is part of it.
It's technically still is, but obviously like the alignments are changing and it can't really.
And this is a big deal because, and Tyrone told us this story 100 times, but for those that don't know, before I think, when did OPEC actually start? Was it the 60s, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty long. The founding members in 1960 were Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela.
Yeah.
And as you've kind of guys have noticed, well, you know, Kuwait's been flipped, Venezuela's been flipped. The Saudis are still in charge of everything, but Iran is seriously hampered. Depending on what happens next in the war, if it goes to peace or if Iran can really be taken out of the lead there, which leaves OPEC vulnerable. Right now, after the exit of the UAE, they control roughly like a quarter of the world's oil supply. And it's not good quality oil. It's not high quality oil. It's some of the worst stuff. It's not the sweet stuff.
But guys, what they do. And sorry, John, I thought you're done.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Go finish. I thought you were.
My point with all of it is really simply, it's a big blow in a very long-term battle. But if we win, if we destroy OPEC, America holds dominance and basic total control over the world's oil supply, which means the petrodollar continues, which means that you continue prospering, fellow American. That's the point. It's your prosperity that's on the line.
And when you control the oil, you control the world's economy, basically. Because you can just say at any time, oh, hey, China, you want to play games? We're going to slash your oil imports. James Comey's been indicted. Todd Blanche put the team on his back.
Well, and again, that's where this federal prosecution white-collar acumen might come in.
I want to see what they indicted him for. Let's see.
Yeah, well, they haven't specified the charges yet, but what we will know is that, like, this probably, hopefully, is a more targeted, something that can stick better than the first charge.
Yeah, that was stupid. Like, I get the idea, like, you indict him and like add stuff later, but that was fucking stupid how they handled that.
Yeah, that's never gonna work. You have to give like specific evidence in court, otherwise it's just gonna fall.
Yeah,
apart.
like they went with a weak thing. They did not go with the clearly obvious stuff. Like, there's a giant conspiracy happening here, but nope. So. These are the confirmed locations of the Minnesota raids today. And multiple of a bunch of these locations were ones that Nick Shirley went to. Funny how that works, by the way. But yeah, on the top of the list, everybody, the infamous Quality Leering Center has been raided today. Oh my gosh. Like, look at some of these names. Global Star Therapy, Empower Skill Academy. You could just tell that
I think my favorite is Mendota Autism.
Wait, what?
Mendota Autism.
Mendota Autism.
Mendota Autism.
Mendota Autism.
Where's this?
Also, it's like 6 down the line. It's under Asperger's.
Oh, Mendota.
Yes.
What is this? Baby Helamo Childcare Inc.
Look at the bottom. They have A+, but like not A with like a plus sign, but just like A with the word plus written out. A+ Universal Child Care.
Somali Senior Center and Adult Day. Why is there a Somali Senior Center here?
I guess we've been importing a lot of old people.
Faye Child Care Center. Mini Child Care Center. Why is there a mini child care? What?
For the mini children.
The original Child Care Center Inc. Love and Care Child. What the fuck?
There were never any child care centers before this one. This was the OG.
Yep. Yeah, this is the first one.
Do you not want your children to be looked after? I mean, come on, guys.
This might be my favorite. Fabulous Restaurant and Catering. What? This is such a fucking scam. How can anyone not realize this is a scam?
Well, I will not call Fabulous Restaurant and Catering a scam until I taste their bananas and rice dishes.
Oh my god!
After I taste those, then I'll decide if they're real or not.
We'll know they're real if you get served live cat there. So.
Oh gosh, the Elon Omar Institute for Quality Leering. Guys, it finally happened. For those that live under a rock, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, while not technically dead, we'll get to
It's been neutered to the point that it is effectively dead.
Yeah, we'll get to like what Alito actually wrote in the decision, because Section 2 is dead. Like, the way that Alito wrote this, which was brilliant. This was one of the best ways he could have written this. I still think the Thomas concurrence is like best case scenario, but still, I'm not mad about this. In fact, I think it's the best of both worlds. Alito officially cooked yet again. So
and Roberts is on board with it.
Yeah. And
Roberts is on board. We got our broad sweeping majority.
Yeah.
And it's in a way that makes it statistically and effectively impossible for the Democratic Party to argue that in states such as the South, it's racially gerrymandered. But before we get into all of that,
let me do my basically, this is a key passage of the case. While not overturning Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, it basically makes it where it's irrelevant. It is irrelevant unless you can prove that they were trying to,
beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt, that you were purposely diluting minority voters. That was your intention. Now, the big thing is,
and look,
oh god,
I just real quickly, I'll explain it. I'm sorry if my microphone craps out. For those who can't read between the fine line, no, this does not protect blue seats in the Deep South.
No.
Because black voters vote 90-10 Democrat. This is not a racial gerrymander. They cannot prove you are racially disenfranchising blacks because their racial biases line up with their political biases. If they are racially gerrymandered and discriminated against, that sucks for them. I should add, not sucks, it just sucks for them.
Oh, God.
You can't prove that's inherently racial. Because if you gerrymander against them for political purposes, them being racially discriminated against is an after effect, not a political gerrymander. And political gerrymanders are A-okay. So no, that you can't just prove just because blacks are losing their seats, that's not a racial issue. That is we are gerrymandering you because of your political biases. It's like Midnight tweeted out, we're finally judging them based on we're gerrymandering against them on the content of their character.
Yeah, that's real. And under Section 2, a minority voter is entitled to nothing less and nothing more. I know it's a lot of like legal bullshit, but basically what he's saying is you do not automatically get representatives because you're a minority, basically.
You do not automatically get a preferred representative or elected official due to the ethnicity of your race. You are not entitled to that political right.
Yeah, you are under the same umbrella as everybody else. You cannot use race. And that's the funny thing. All this case really does is say, hey, you cannot redraw districts based on race. Isn't that what these people want in the first place? Equality? Right?
Yeah, they want equity.
Yeah, they want equity. That's right.
Remember, we're for equality, not equity.
Yeah, and that's what this does. It just says, hey, you're all treated equally. And if they're not redistricting or gerrymandering based on race, I'm sorry, like, what can you say or do about it? You cannot prove they're doing it by race, by the way, like Tyrone says. Like, you cannot prove it. You can't
prove it by race. Because they are already. What this has effectively done is it has made it impossible for them to prove, especially in states like the Deep South, where they have auditor margins, that this is a racial gerrymander. Yeah. It's not a racial gerrymander. It is a political gerrymander. And simply put, the only reason it has the by-effect of being a racial gerrymander is because black people, the black community, has been so thoroughly courted and with the Democratic Party for years that they have done this to themselves. It is as simple as that. Ooh, they got holiday.
It looks like kindergartners drew it like J.B. Pritzker was.
I'm gonna fire a meme, but like some guy brought up a good point. It's like when Republicans gerrymander, it doesn't look like shit when Democrats have to do it, because the reality is that Democrats have to draw their maps like this to get the intended effect. Because guess what? They have fucking nobody in the rest of the state. They only got them in San Francisco, LA, the big cities, and that's why they're forced to draw this. This is not the map they're pushing, by the way. This is just a copium. Some people are saying like, oh, we can gerrymander California like this. If you try to gerrymander California like this, I don't think even the Supreme Court would allow that. At some point, like, because isn't a law that you have to keep the districts as compact as possible, right? I'm pretty sure it's by law.
Yes, and I think that they should go further with this, and we should actually try to do certain specifications that would make it even harder for them to do this.
Yeah, because guys,
there shouldn't be. Yeah, the next logical step, now that the Voting Rights Act is dead, effectively, Republicans need to go on the offensive and make it so that Democrats can't do this fucking shit. They need to make it as compact and geometrically sensible as possible. You need to actually be able to feasibly go, this actually looks like something that's normal. Because I guarantee you, if that were to happen, Massachusetts would have a red seat right now.
Yeah. And like, I think that's what Republicans should do. Just say, hey, instead of having Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, let's just say it has to be as compact as it has to. This right here is where you have to draw for Democrats gain House seats. Notice the difference between Florida gerrymander and a California gerrymander? What's the difference?
Yeah, California's a fair map. And
That's fair.
Gerrymander.
Florida is a map. Florida is a state map gerrymandered by radical alt-right Christo-fascists, and California is a free and fair democratic map designed to stop the fascist Trump
Guys, like, you take off the colors of the map, like which way they're leaning. You ask the average voter which map is more fair. You know 90% are going to say the Florida map is. Like, I can't believe people are having this discussion. I'm not even saying the Florida map is fair. It's not, but the average voter, if they saw the maps, they would say, oh, this is much more fair, because objectively speaking, it is. Look at this. Guys, this is the shit we're dealing with. Man, what is this? If you
also, can I just say, I love how when Dems do when we do gerrymandering, we can just make like a nice compact map. And when Dems do it, it looks like a pizza, like a pizza being sliced around a major city. That's what theirs looks like.
I mean, this is
it looks like that one video of the Indian dude sloppily cutting the pizza where it's like in completely uneven shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Blackbird is fucking talking about it. She just proposed a 9-0 map where each seat is like at least R plus 20. Yeah, each seat is at least R plus 20.
Holy shit.
Whose map is that? That's that California ET nerd or what?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
I just want to say, guys, that I had a dream that one day we would overturn race-based gerrymandering and race-based redistricting.
I already made your joke. I made your joke for you.
Shut up. I want to make it in.
So yeah.
But now we finally have districts not based on the content of the character, and that's exactly what I want.
No, okay, stop. We're not, stop. We've gone to the rails too much. But yeah, so basically Tennessee, these are all Trump plus 20 seats. And Tennessee's gonna redraw, looks like. That's a net gain of 1 right there. Guys,
we love the Tennessee GOP.
The Tennessee GOP does not fuck around. They don't piss around at all. They just say, fucking we ball.
Didn't Tate Reeves also release plans to
they're gonna redraw.
Like a couple of weeks ago?
They said they're gonna only redraw the state Supreme Court. Bull fucking shit. You're gonna redraw. If Virginia is struck down and the Florida map is approved, which looks like it's gonna happen, the new map would be Republicans 211, Democrats 209. And there's 15 toss-ups. So do the math here. If Tennessee redraws 1, Louisiana draws 1 or 2. That's 3 right there. South Carolina, I'm hearing rumors about. They might do it.
Meatball Ron tweeted. He just said that the Supreme Court ruling is actually retroactively undoing part of Florida state constitution and opening it up to further. Oh my God, DeSantis might actually go for more seats.
Wait, what?
Let's go.
No way. Wait, bring this up. Send me the tweets. I got it right here.
It's in the chat.
Oh my gosh. Rob DeSantis. The SCOTUS ruling also validates
the fucking Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Make this man on the Supreme Court.
Make this man the next.
Oh my
Supreme
gosh.
Court
Make him replace Roberts.
The SCOTUS ruling also invalidates the below.
That would be really funny.
The SCOTUS ruling also invalidates the below provisions of the Florida Constitution. Districts shall not be drawn with the intended result of denying or abridging the equal opportunity of racial blah blah blah. So Florida GOP is cooking. Ron DeSantis is putting the team on his back yet again. He did it back in 2022, then went out the rails in 24, and now he's doing it again. Yeah, so they're going to redraw their maps, it looks like.
Dude, this is literally the best fucking possible scenario for us. We have already got 3 separate state Republican parties within an hour or two of the announcement saying, yeah, no, we're going to fucking do it. The Republican Party is actually on the fucking case. The Republican Party is on the fucking case here. It's a miracle. Republicans are actually doing their job. My lord.
What is this hell? What is this hell?
This is White Pill Wednesday.
Yeah, this is you talk about a white pill. We
don't have oil prices.
Fuck oil prices. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, doom or doomsday. This is best case scenario, and this is why I was skeptical. The Supreme Court would
I'm dooming because I gotta drive. I drive too much for this shit. Anyways.
Yeah.
This is better than best case, because the best case we thought was the Voting Rights Act being overturned. This simultaneously enables us to just politically gerrymander away minority-majority districts while forcing the Democratic Party to continue to court and appease to their own minority groups.
Yeah. Josh for 2. My state, go Vols. Yeah, good job. K-Cup for 5. The rise, fall, and Phoenix Rise of Ra needs to be studied for future and study.
Everybody say everyone say thank you, Louisiana.
Thank you, Louisiana.
I love the fact that, like,
Louisiana. Thank you, Tennessee.
This all started because, who's the governor of Louisiana? What's his name again? Landry, right?
Jeff Landry.
Jeff Landry.
Yeah, he hated that Garrett Graves guy, so he went along with this plan. He goes, for those that don't know, just surrendered himself and is under arrest.
Let's go!
Oh yeah! Fuck James Comey.
Oh, this is White Pill Wednesday.
And by the way, this is not the shit like last time. Again, first of all, screw Pam Bondi. She clearly was just trying to like get the Comey stuff off her desk and just like, here, hey, give them the Virginia court and be done with it. And it failed.
Can we agree that Todd Blanche is now officially one of the best members of the Trump admin?
I mean, he's doing this for his own like sake, but guys, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Can you post the news about Comey?
Yeah, he has been arrested, so it's not like he had the same shit last time where, oh, he had to go to the courtroom and call it a day. No, he was actually just arrested.
And he's going to be indicted in
it's an Eastern District of New York, or not New York, of freaking North Carolina. Good lord. So that's a big deal because the Virginia judges were just crazy. They were just absolutely batshit crazy. Old Biden judges. These are Trump judges, and a couple Bush ones, and I think Reagan one. So they should lean more our way.
Probably. Now they're indicting him over the
86, yeah, the 86 thing. Here's the thing, though. There is a shred of evidence to suggest he might be screwed. For those that don't know, like a day or two before after he posted that, he posted a quote from a book where basically he implied that it is right to murder people in the defense of the First Amendment. Or something like that.
What?
I gotta pull this up here. It is fucking wild. Oh, Jamie Pritzker's melting down.
Oh boy, what did that fat motherfucker say? What did that fat motherfucker say?
We must call this for what it is. Oh, let me post this in the chat and let me just get this on stream.
Please send.
This is what he said. We must call this for what it is. Voter suppression that was silenced black and brown voters. The magnitude of this decision cannot be understated. It guts the Voting Rights Act and its purpose of protecting all voices. Every American deserves an equal vote. Fuck
okay,
you. May notice something. Republicans on this map end up with a 1-seat majority. Are you guys ready for the hypothetical scenario where we have a 1-seat majority? You guys ready for that?
Oh, again, yeah.
Yeah,
Magic Mike, work your shit.
Bro, he is gonna like
Dude, Magic Mike Johnson, all he needs is he needs one person. All he needs is a 1-seat majority. That man can pass it. Like that man can make shit work.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking like it's an absolute majority. It genuinely blows my mind how good of a Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is.
Imagine if he had like a majority like Paul Ryan did in like 2017.
Oh my gosh.
We had like 240 seats back then.
If Ruben Gallego resigns, if we can pick up all the seats we need to, if we can pick up Gallego's seat prematurely, and
that's the filibuster's dead in that scenario.
Yeah, and the Magic Mike can pick up a solid fucking working majority in 28 after we barely hold on to the House in 26, and JD Vance is vice president, we are not going to have to worry about a large majority of issues that we are currently fighting tooth and nail for.
Yeah, and by the way, like, you look at this map here, it's like, guys, this is not even a crazy stretch. And I've been trying to tell people this for a while. Democrats, they have nothing to gain in redistricting right now. Well, what can they realistically draw in the next couple of months? What state?
None. Illinois has already passed, I thought.
Yeah, Illinois, the primary already happened. And even then, we'll get to the bigger issue where Democrats are going to say, like, Illinois in a second, because it's hilarious. But you can't do anything in Illinois. California, there's no fucking shot. I don't think there's enough time to do that. Oregon, they can't. Washington, they can't. Colorado, they can't. So, New Jersey, they can't. New York, every time they do, the courts strike it down. And it blows up in their face every damn time. So, really,
there's not a solid Democrat state that they can actually do this in.
Yeah. And this is assuming Louisiana redraws only 1 seat, by the way. You end up in a scenario where, yeah, Republicans, they lose 2 seats in Iowa. They lose a couple in Michigan, lose one in Virginia, lose a couple in Florida, Arizona, California. Even in this scenario, Republicans would end up with 218. And by the way, the Black Caucus, not just a congressional one, but in all these states like Illinois, New Jersey, these states have very influential Black caucuses. And they're all pushing back against redrawing the maps in terms of diluting Black voters. You may notice the issue for Democrats here. Democrats, most of these states, they can't redraw without the Black caucus's approval. They just can't. And if they're saying no to a lot of this stuff, like they did in Maryland, like they did in Illinois, hell, they're starting to say this in New Jersey. They're saying, hell no, we're not going to redraw. You do the math, guys. How can they redraw most of these states? Yeah, they could in maybe Oregon and Washington, maybe, and California, or even Colorado. But even then, that's not enough to counteract the South. You need a state like Illinois, state like New Jersey, New York. And a lot of these states, they really don't want to redraw, especially if it dilutes Black voters. That's a reality for Dems. And I don't think anyone's understanding that. I don't know why people just are assuming that these voters are going to, like, vote in line with it. They have it already. And they're already saying in New Jersey, for example, no, we don't want to redraw because we have a fair map already. It represents Black voters perfectly. That's what they're saying. So, that's a problem. And even in states like New Jersey, you don't got the votes. What's your thoughts on the Black Caucus striking on the redistricting efforts already? Well, we said this on... Oh, good Lord, really? Well, we already said this Wednesday. We already said this Wednesday that that's the issue for Dems. They have to get this through the Black Caucus, and everybody's saying fuck no. Because they know if they redraw, you know what's going to happen to these seats?
They lose Black representation, and they don't want to do that.
That, and these Black congressmen and women and down ballot, they would lose their primaries to white progressives. That's a reality of it.
We were having a conversation about this in John's the other night, actually. Without racial protections, what's going to end up happening is all of these racially gerrymandered districts, they are going to be redrawn into these generic blue suburban districts. The face of the Democratic Party is about to shift from Black and Hispanic and Asian ethnic groups in the House to every Democrat seeing being represented by a she, they, or they, them, dyed hair, progressive white women.
Yeah. And that's, the Black Caucus does not want that to happen. Like, that's objectively a fact. They don't want that shit happening. Like, maybe they can redraw a little bit more in Illinois, New Jersey, but maybe a seat more in both states.
Here's the thing.
They go any further, they're fucked.
Here's the thing. These ethnic minority groups with their House seats, they're not... I'll say this. They're race communists.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They're ethno-narcissists and they support the Democratic Party for racial purposes. But they're not full-on, culturally super, for the most part, super left-leaning people. Because ethnic minorities are not super left-leaning outside like maybe some Asian groups and urban Black groups, but that is such an extreme minority due to minority groups. The people who would be running to replace them, the suburban white liberal type, they are ideological gay race communists. Now that racial House districts,
we'll see.
Dude, Tom Blanche is doing such a good job that if he keeps this up and by another month or two, I'd be completely on board with Blanche for Attorney General.
I'm starting to get to that point. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm starting to get to the point where I think we got to get Blanche in there. Because he clearly knows what he's doing. I know part of this stuff was happening beforehand, I get that, but you can't tell me that there is no difference between Bondi and Blanche. There is a huge difference because Bondi, she would eventually get this stuff. It would take fucking 10 years. Maybe. Blanche, it's within a day. And a perfect example is the Comey stuff. It sounds like we're indicting him again in Virginia this time. We're going to indict him in North Carolina. We already did. We're going to indict him in Virginia, possibly. And I can't say much on this. You guys know the Florida case?
Nope. Enlighten me.
So that's the Mar-a-Lago raid stuff. That's the conspiracy case. But basically, there is a grand jury in, I think, Miami or no, Palm Beach or whatever, somewhere in that area, and there is a conspiracy case being built against people like Comey and the Biden admin for the Mar-a-Lago raid and others, and like the spy and stuff and all that. And it sounds like indictments are coming soon on that front in Miami. So, well,
HSI is almost just as large as the FBI. The reason HSI, the ICE, were doing Minneapolis instead of FBI when the fucking riots broke out is because you just can't trust the FBI. The FBI is corrupt. There are a lot of good people at the FBI.
Yeah, there are.
But you also have a lot of corrupt motherfuckers, political inquisitors, political heresy inquisitors, going in with the FBI and doing all this crazy shit. The people who did the Russiagate, the people who did the illegal fucking FBI probe into Trump, I guarantee you some of those people still keep their fucking jobs, even in hostile territory.
Yeah, and part of the problem is with how the FBI and even the DOJ works, guys, it takes a long time to like train up new people. That's a reality, and that's what some people don't understand. Like, I don't know how long it takes. How long does it take to become an FBI agent?
Quite a while. You have to do fucking FLETC and other shit.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem where they can't, like, you can fire some people, but it takes time to replace them, so you have to deal with them. I think what is going on, we've been hearing more about this lately, they have been firing more people now, because I think what's going on is now that Kash Patel and Bailey are there, they're able to actually oversee who's been hired and who's been fired. And now we're replacing these shitty people with good ones. And that's why the FBI has suddenly begun doing good stuff. Just look what happened today. Look at this. This happened.
The Nigerian scam, $215 million? Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this right here. The FBI says 25 convicted in $215 million Nigerian-linked fraud scheme targeting 1,000 victims across 47 states. Yeah, does Trump go for DeSantis in the Supreme Court or DeSantis AG? Because that's really the only two positions that make sense for him.
I still think he should be on the Supreme Court, but
I would prefer that. We all know what DeSantis would have a long tenure on the Supreme Court, and we all know the kind of work DeSantis would do on the Supreme Court. We all know it would be good, and honestly, it would be. I trust DeSantis to do the right thing as AG or the Supreme Court justice. Then
DeSantis has the courage.
Then like a slimy rat like Ted Cruz, DeSantis is gonna do a way better job. So I would rather have him there, and also it just kind of reconciles a political division that just doesn't really deserve to exist in the Republican Party right now. The DeSantoids can finally shut up, and they can spend the rest of their life salivating over DeSantis as a justice, the same way that we praise Clarence Thomas and Alito and everybody else, they can treat him like a Scalise, they can treat him like a guy to sit there and praise all day, and so they get to worship their idol, and we get to actually run the country. It makes perfect sense. Make DeSantis
I agree with
Supreme Court.
that. Trust Homelander. Yeah, this is seriously your bench, Ramaswamy and a random schizophrenic. My gosh, this is awful. Absolutely terrible, and you're gonna end up with Ramaswamy because reasons. You could add Sprague or even Yost. Yost should be the nominee, but no, we had to deal with this shit, and great. Nightmare blood rotation. Hey, certain individuals are saying, no, we have to nominate Ramaswamy. Dave Yost has to drop out. Yeah, you could have had Yost. Fucking dumb shits. Absolutely pathetic. Yeah, this bench is terrible. You had good candidates too, and Sprague and Yost, but nope, you had to play this game. I don't get why. Who thought it was a good idea to run Ramaswamy? Who?
I'm pretty sure Trump just wanted to get rid of Ramaswamy.
I think so. Yeah, that's fair. After the whole Christmas stuff, Trump was like, "Yeah, fuck you." Houston will win by 3-7 if Vivek wins by likely 2-6. Well, he better be fucking careful, because Amy Ackley could run to the right of him on certain issues, and if she does, it's over. But my gosh.